Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Artichoke Music on a fine Friday evening. We thank you all for coming out. A couple little housekeeping things before we get to the main event here. Should you have, by the way, this is not some disembodied voice. I'm back here at the audio control panel. Okay, your voice is coming from nowhere. If you have a device which you use to communicate now, would you please turn it off or at least put it on stun for the remainder of the evening? That big purple cube next to the stage is in fact a restroom, but we ask that you not use it during the program. We just need to know. So what we suggest is you go out the door or out the back of the theater where you came in through the curtains here. Take a left in the lobby toward the store, and as you go toward the store, you'll see to your left a stairway. At the top of the stairs is a fine restroom. And however, if you continue 3 more steps into the store, then take a left, you will pass the wall of ukuleles and the wall of banjos and the twinkly lights and all that stuff, and you'll end up at another fine restroom. Now, you're here tonight participating, whether you knew it or not, in PDX Music Month, the second annual, run by Portland Music. Now, a couple bucks from your ticket is going to grants and such to support local independent musicians. And for that, you are entered into a sweepstakes. Now, when you come in, before you leave tonight, if you haven't already, on the door to the theater, on the door you came in, there is a QR code. Take your phone, take a picture of the QR code. It will automatically enter you in the sweepstakes. Now, that sounds frivolous. Oh, okay, in a sweepstakes. However, the more shows you go to in the month, the more entries you get, of course, except it's exponential. One show tonight gives you 1 entry, but if you go to 2 shows, you get 4 entries. If you go to 6 shows, you get 36 chances. Now, 36 chances at what? Okay. 36 chances at the third prize, which is a very fine electric bike. Okay, pretty good. Second prize, 2 first-class Delta round-trip airfare to anywhere in the United States or Canada. We ain't messing around here, folks. The grand prize is a 1974 MG Midget convertible roadster. We ain't kidding. So make sure before you leave tonight you scan the QR code, and if you go to the website PDX Music, you will be able to look at the other theaters around town, the other bars and venues and all that are also participating in this. So you can go to other shows as well as coming here to Portland to Artichoke Music, and you can get more entries, and hopefully somebody will drive away or fly away. Who knows? Or bike away, whichever is the case may be. Okay, that's the commercial. Now let's get down to the fun. Avery Hill is an old friend of mine, I'm happy to say, and is a performing artist with a singular style of songwriting that integrates intricate melodies with insightful storytelling lyrics. Her voice is at once both wise and curious, telling and investigating. We had a wonderful afternoon listening to her rehearse and warm up here and listen to that lovely voice. Her last album, Dreams and Ghosts, a family album, came out in 2015. Tonight, she shares a collection of new songs for you and your consideration to be included on her next album. Please welcome to our stage at Artichoke. Welcome back to our stage at Artichoke, Avery Hill.
Thank you. Oh my God. It just feels really great to see so many familiar faces and a lot of new faces too. It's Friday. I don't know about you, I just need a breath. Can we take a breath together? Whew, yes, that feels good. All right. Feel free to keep taking those breaths as you need, as will I. Are you hearing that out there? I'm not hearing it up here. We could add it up in the monitor. Okay, you're hearing it though. Through the... Okay. mast on the river hovers below. These bluffs are enough to let me let go. The warmth of the air despairs as it hangs all through this valley as the midnight moon wanes. And morning will come to those who awake, no matter the weather or how the earth shakes. In the evening the whippoorwill sings his song, calling the souls of all who are gone. I am no storm chaser, I am no heartbreaker, I am only the one who remembers. And all that is here now is older than I. Much will remain still after I die. Oh, the rain, it will come and then wash away. So simple, so gentle, as if it could say, I am no storm chaser, I am no heartbreaker, I am only the one who remembers. And my eyes are like windows, opaque with the grime of years of this dust and the winds of time. I may think myself brave, but I'm no pioneer. No, there just comes the time we each choose our frontier. And I am no storm chaser, I am no heartbreaker, I am only the one. Oh, I am only the one who Thank you so much. Great. Breathing. Jenny was a farm girl, like her mother too. What work needed be done, that's the work she'd do. When her stomach swelled one summer, it was a brand new start and a whole different work to do. Just a simple woman, just a simple life, you'd say, with a house to kids cook, house to clean, and kids to feed most every day. But there's something to be said, I think, for living your life in one place. And when I look into the mirror, sometimes I think I see a little bit of her and who I try to be. Beggars at the back door and big bands in the hall, and Oscar in the corner watching the Phillies playing ball. And on the dining room table, a jar just for spoons was the hub of her wheel to them all. She cooked every day for 9. She had neighbor friends for tea. She made hand pies with her grandkids, any filling they pleased. She served everything on china, whether she knew you or not. What she made, she gave freely. And when I look into the mirror, sometimes I think I see a little bit of her in who I try to be. No one special, no one grand, just a steady eye and a steady hand to give something to this world that this world can understand. 100 years have gone now since Jenny left the farm. All her children and their children's children are scattered near and far. And my daughter comes for coffee every Sunday afternoon. We sit in the dining room with a jar just for spoons to remember who we are. And when she looks into the mirror, I wonder if she'll see a little bit of all of us in who she wants to be. Someone special, someone grand, with a steady eye and a steady hand to give something to this world that this world can understand. Tea break. Let's see. Ooh, you can see my hands shaking. Oh. Ooh, that's great. Laura, excellent. Thank you. Oh, no. You stay seated. I was just saying thank you. I was just saying thank you for the tea. That was a song about my great-grandmother, Jenny, and that is her teacup. So I thought I would sort of bring her to be here with us tonight. Yes. And oh my goodness, I was at my mom's this afternoon, and deciding what teacup to bring from the collection was a bit of a production, as we say. The spoon jar that I mentioned in there is actually also a real thing, and it is doing its duty tonight as the honor jar at the merch table. So if you want to go Check it out. If you don't already have a CD or just want to throw a little extra in there on your way out, or just look at it, you're welcome to just look at it. There are even some spoons still in there. So again, just it is obliged to you. Let's see. Thank you so much for your support and for being here tonight. As I said, it's just so wonderful to see so many friendly faces. That makes my job a lot easier, or maybe a lot harder in some ways. I'm not sure. We're going to try a little something different tonight, which I'm quite excited about. This first set is a group of songs that really kind of live in the kind of the same place in my heart, if you will. A lot of you are familiar with the work I did before my album, Dreams and Ghosts. I was writing about the past. They were sort of love songs for the past, all these folks from my family's history that I'd grown up learning about but never knew personally. I'm calling this set Love Songs for My Past as we sort of move forward in time to the more recent past, to folks that I did grow up with and that I did know very well, and that really helped shape my life into even these current and next chapters. Set 2 will be more about those next chapters. I'll get to that when we get there. But for now, let me grab my guitar. And grab the capo. Oh my goodness, all the logistics. Ooh, I know. Did you know you could do this? Yes. It's so fun to play around with these, and then you have to learn how to perform with them. Let me just do this. Great. Okay, that'll do. This first love song is for my great Aunt Carolyn. And the thing that I appreciate most about her is that as invested as she was in past generations of our family, she was equally invested in the future generations of our family. When our son Oscar was born, this was about even just 6 months before she died, she sent us a card that said, "Congratulations, you've won yourselves an Oscar." And that just gives you a little idea as to the kind of wonderful person that she was. So, this is my love song for her. It's called The Nest. Today is a day you will not see, so I will let the sun wash over me. I will feel its grace, the same way you kissed my face when it came time to leave. Red lipstick on my cheek. And today is a day you will not hear the birds in the wood, their song so clear. I hear them on the wing, building their nests of spring. And I know you'll be near, year after year, because like those birds you wove your words through pictures and letters and stories, round and round. Now we are bound together in this tree. Today I thought of all the days you lived even knew what life is, I thought of those you love, welcoming you above to be with them again. At least I hope you can. No, we may never know just where we go, and comes the end of our story. Round and round still we are bound together in memory. Today I watch the sun set in the west, a brand new life upon my breast. I said a prayer for you and all that I learned from you. It's okay, take your rest. As for the nest, I'll do my best. Yeah. All right, get rid of those things. Get rid of those. Okay. Great. All right. It's interesting when you become a parent, all of a sudden your parents look a little different in the rearview mirror, don't they? Yeah, I'm kind of in the thick of that. Oscar is 4 now, and the interesting thing about it is that I remember being 4, right? So there's some of his perspective that I really get, but I also remember my mom at the age that I am now, right? I am now an age that I remember my mom being, and that is also a little weird. Like, to be able to see through both perspectives. And my mom always had this saying. She said, you know, I was not the perfect mother, but I would like to think I was perfectly adequate. Anybody who knows my mother that knows that adequate is not an adjective anybody would use to describe her. But I will say it helped give me permission to, at moments, lower my standards a little bit for myself in parenting, right? That can be important. And really, whatever perspective I'm looking at, from Oscar's or from my mother's, from my own, I think the thing I'm most grateful for, and I think what I have found myself trying to do in this daily journey of parenting, is that ultimately you just try to be the best version of yourself as consistently as you can. And the key word there is try. Just want to point that out. I feel very lucky to have been blessed, not just with 2, but with 4 wonderful parents, all of whom did that. And when I think of sort of, laying out those individual childhood memories like photos on the rug, that's the rug underneath. This is called Harmonies in the Hallway. Another day ends down where the road bends, overlooking West Meadow Beach. We've watched all the white caps, searched all the night maps for stars that seem just out of reach. Still, we are reaching back up the path, a mile and a half to a house that is barely a home. There are holes in the floors, doorways without doors. Still we're learning to make it our own. Still we are learning. And at the end of the day, I know I'm okay when I hear harmonies in the hallway as I fall asleep at night. Little could I have known back then they'd stay with me all my life. Off the school bus we run, our homework all done, come together at the dinner table, where once were three, now there are four. We're not sure, but still we are grateful, still with our plates full. And in my mother's guitar, we discover who we are. I hear harmonies in the hallway as I fall asleep at night. Little could I have known back then they'd stay with me all my life. All of these years, their voice is so clear in my mind. Wherever I go, I lived a good life, but still, in the hard times, I hear that lingering echo. I hear harmonies in the hallway as I fall asleep at night. Little could I have known back then they'd stay with me all my life. Harmonies in the hallway as I rock you to sleep tonight. Little do we ever know how we'll shape a child's life, what stays with them in time. I want to give a shout out to my mom, who is probably watching from home. She's recovering from surgery. She's doing fine, but we had a discussion today. I hope I'm not I was going to tell a funny joke, but I don't want to betray her confidence. Let's just say she had surgery, and when we decided, it was a little bit of a mystery as to what they were addressing, and she decided that it was my fault because of her difficult pregnancy with me. I love you, Mom. Anyway, sorry. Stick to the script, Avery. Stick to the script. I know what's in it. That song takes place in the house that my mom bought after my parents got divorced. And when she bought it, it was really pretty. It was in bad shape, let's just say, as the song suggested. And we spent really the whole 2 years that we lived there basically just fixing it up. But you know, it had an interesting way of fixing us up as well. We came out of that house kind of a new family, as the song suggests. Oops. But I started thinking about that house, and thinking about it, I started to feel like, oh gosh, that house was really, it was like a womb, like it kind of took us in, we grew, we developed, and it birthed us out into the world as this new family. And I really do truly believe that that's what it did, but I also realized that that's when the hormones were kicking in, because by the time I finished the song, I found out that I was pregnant. So there's a little bit of some double meanings and references in this one. It's called Walk Through the Door. Oh, this is one I definitely want to be sure I have the words, because always kind of messing around with the lyrics. Something doesn't quite sound right. Ah, there it is. Come on, you can do it. Okay, that's going to feel so much better. Okay, thank you. Walk through the door. I can feel you move in me, even though you don't know who I am. And I can feel your heart as it's beating. No, there's nothing you can feel that I can't. I can hear you playing. That's not right. I'm gonna try it again. Breaths, Avery. I can feel you move in me, even though you don't know who I am. And I can feel your heart as it's beating. No, there's nothing you can feel that I can't. I can feel you playing, dancing, laughing, singing out in the night. I can see your story beginning. I can see love and sacrifice. Walk through the door, go find what you're looking for when you're ready to go. When you leave, don't worry for me, for I've learned to let go. There are days when I feel my age, feel my history, I feel it in you. And I can see what brought you to me, but not where you're going to. I can feel you growing, hoping, learning, yearning to be free. Close your eyes, look inside, you've already found the key. Walk through the door, go find what you're looking for when you're ready to go. When you leave, don't worry for me, for I have learned to let go. And I know it's not the journey, not the struggle, not the climb that changes us and strengthens us. What we migrate through is time. I can feel the day is coming. You'll be going and not looking back. And that's as it should be, or else I wouldn't be very good at this job that I've had. You'll know where the winds will. You are stronger than you know, and where you go, I'll be with you still. Walk through the door, go find what you're looking for when you're ready to go. When you leave, don't worry for me, for I have learned to let go. That's the job of every home. My friends Anne and Norm are here. Don't worry, I'm not calling you out or anything. I just want to give you one guess as to what card game I played with Oscar last night. Uno. That's right. We're in an Uno phase. Anne and Norm are privy to this particular obsession. And every time we play Uno is how you have to, it's like this kind of really guttural the way he always says it. Every time we play it, I always have to think of my Aunt Rinda, who saint that she was, played Uno with us for hours over the summertime, and then probably lost, and we probably rubbed it in her face as well. I mean, every time we play, I just say a little thank you, and I'm so sorry to her. And then the other thing that always makes me think of her too is that Oscar and I have done together is we've loomed together those pot holders. Like these. Remember these? And that loom, it's so visceral. Or just the experience I have holding it is very visceral, and it just always reminds me that, we are all a room of adults here, but we are all just big children. It does not take a lot to kind of get us right back to that. And she was one of those folks who I had a lovely relationship with as a kid, but also just had a great relationship with as an adult, which was a really lovely gift. But I think that there are those people that sometimes that love that we have for them stays childlike forever, and it's a little narcissistic, I suppose, but also just very earnest and perhaps the most honest love that we feel. This is a song about a potholder. Merry Christmas, happy birthday. I made this just for you. It's a pot holder of cotton loops on my red square metal loom. You can use it for your cooking or as a coaster for your coffee, so that even when we're far apart, I know you're thinking of me. Pull into your driveway, another summertime begins. We will swim and talk and eat and walk along the water's edge. Each day will rise just like the sun and set into memory, like those good books we go back and read. Time and again, time turns summer into winter, and holidays to share. Your smile at the table, to know that everyone is there. There's a warmth that surrounds us all long after we leave, so that even when we're far apart, I know you're thinking of me. And these days, now that you're gone, I laugh to find them there. Those pot holders still by the stove, by your favorite reading chair. I can't believe you kept kept them. After all, I was just a kid, but I smiled to think just one thing that you loved was something that I did. Now whenever I am missing you, I go pull out that loom. I weave those loops one after one, but all I see is you by the lake, in the garden, beneath the old oak tree. And now even though we're far apart, I know you're thinking of me. One day this potholder will fall apart, but never will your love for me. All right. I'm going to move to the piano. Wait. Sorry, that was Aunt Carolyn that came out of my mouth.
And Carolyn.
Okay. How does this mic sound? Good. Everybody hear the piano okay too? Great. Okay. What am I saying? What am I doing? Where am I in the set? I've got one more for you. It's a little bit of a shorter first set. I feel like I'm opening for myself here, if you will. Because in set 2, we've got a little bit of a different act happening. But I do just want to take a moment before the break. I want to give a thank you to Gary and Paul, who are at the sound desk tonight. Thank you so much. You'll see later in this set I had 2 friends show up today that they were not expecting, who are going to join me on stage. So I really appreciate that they pivoted and we got through sound check. It was great. Thank you also to Steve, who welcomed you all into the place tonight. And thank you. Love seeing your face whenever I come in for a show. So glad that you're here. And thanks to Laura, who's been taking care of you at the bar. Please give her a thank you. Leave her some tips, because I want to point out just real quick, she's got cards. She is a bartender, not just here but elsewhere, and she was telling me earlier this is a business that she is beginning, and it is a nonprofit, so she shares all of her tips with nonprofit organizations like Artichoke, like Services for the Homeless. So I just wanted to give her a shout out. Thank you so much, Laura, wherever you are out there. I can't quite see where you are, but thank you. Please say hello. Please, at the break, get yourself a beverage or a snack, and be sure to tip her well. All right. Oh, and last but not least, and she may not like that I'm doing this, but I really would like to thank Vicki Green, who's in the audience tonight, who helped me put this first part of the program together. She's a performing artist coach, and I swear I would not trust or pay anybody else to put myself through the torture that was getting ready for this show. Very, very much appreciate the time that I've been able to work with her. So thank you, Vicki. Okay. So, one more song with a bit of a story. There are 3 things that I learned to recite when I was a kid. I learned the Lord's Prayer at school, not at school, at church. I learned the Pledge of Allegiance at school. And I learned the first verse, the first stanza of a poem by George Banks. It goes like this. To live for those who love me, for those who know me true, for the heavens that shine above me and await my spirit too, for the cause that needs assistance, for the wrong that lacks resistance, for the future in the distance, and the good that I can do. And that was the motto of my grandfather, my papa. Now, first he had tried to teach me the very common children's prayer. If I was about Oscar's age, 4 years old. If I should, now I lay me down to sleep, I pray the Lord my soul to keep. If I should die before I wake, wait I said. I do not want to die. That threw him off a little bit. He regrouped. He came back with the poem, which still has a reference to death, but it's a little bit more, subdued. He did well, though, in coming back, He loomed pretty large in our family, kind of one of those quiet individuals, but ever present. And he was a general in the Air Force and had fought in World War II and the Korean War, but by the time I was born, he had retired. And so it was something I knew about him, but I didn't really know a lot related to that. I never talked to him about it at all either. Didn't really give much thought until the war came. On September 11th, I was 18 years old, and I'm so sorry because I know that's going to make some of you feel old, but it's important to the story. I was 18 years old, and so my entire college years, the backdrop were the wars in Iraq and Afghanistan, and it was a very conflicted time for me in understanding, in sort of balancing or squaring what understandings I'd grown up with and what kind of new information I was taking in as this new and fresh adult out in the world. So by the time I graduated and moved to Germany to teach English, I was not really anxious to tell people that I was from the United States. Not that my roommate cared very much, because he found out that I was American and was so excited. He dug out in his parents' basement the most enormous American flag I've ever seen and hung it up in the living room. It took up the entire wall. And he said, "I just wanted to make you feel at home." I couldn't get that thing down fast enough. I went about my life there, and that year that I lived with him, I found out in the fall of that year that my grandfather had died. And so I got ready to go home for the funeral, and because he was a general, it was this full military funeral at Arlington National Cemetery, full with the coffin and the flag over the coffin that was ceremoniously folded up, presented to my grandmother. And then at the very end of the service, we all walked up to the coffin we were given roses to put on top as we left. As our family went up to the front, my mom from behind us gave us each also 2 little American flags to put on the coffin as well. And I just held that flag and I thought, in that moment, I really didn't know what that flag meant to me. But I knew what it meant to him, and I knew what he meant to me. And for that moment, that was really all I needed to know. This is called The Good That I Can Do. If I asked you if you loved me, you'd say, of course I do. If I asked why I never heard you say it, you'd say you didn't have to. You'd say, if you are blessed enough to know what true love is, you don't say it with words, you say it with how you live. If I asked you why you chose to work, the work you chose to do, you'd say it was for God and country, what you felt sent to do. You'd say we all have to live our lives, so at the end of every day, we can say we did our best, at least in our own way. Now I lay me down to sleep. I pray to you, my soul to keep. I pray to find the good that I can do. So if I should die before I wake, at least I'll know that I can shake hands with myself and with you. asked me why I care so much about what you would think, I'd say I want to know just how you fit in these songs I sing, because you said we must be unkind, mash right and left and leave it behind. But that's not what I believe, now that I've seen with my own eyes. I want to know why you did what you did. Oh, 'cause it's nothing like this work that I do. But if you asked me why I do it, I'd say it's because of you. To live for those who love me, for those who know me true, for the heaven that shines above me and awaits my spirit too, for the cause that lacks assistance, for the wrong that needs resistance, for the future in the distance, and the good that I can do. Now I lay me down to sleep, I pray to you, my soul to keep. I pray to find the good that I can do. So if I should die before I wake, at least I'll know that I can shake hands with myself and with you. With you, with you. Thank you so much. Enjoy your break, get a drink, chat amongst yourselves. I'll see you back here in a little bit. Thank you. Welcome back, everybody. I don't need much. I can make do with some kindness and self-respect and what I learned from you. Now we've come to this place, and I'm glad that you're here. Come in just as you are. Come with open ears. Come with your doubts, with your hope and your love. Come with your sorrow. What you bring is enough. But don't come looking for answers. I prefer the truth and a few good questions to keep us honest too. And when we come face to face, I will look you in the eye, feel your heart beat like mine, so you can know that I've tried. I'll keep trying every day. And we all have our pride, but let's not take advantage. Can we agree on dignity and any mercy we can manage? 'Cause I don't need any favors, except when I do. I don't need any judgment, and neither do you. But when we come face to face, will you look me in the eye? Feel your heart beat like mine, so I can know that you've tried. We'll keep trying every day. Ooh. I don't need to convince you. I didn't come with some point to prove. We all need to feel listened to, and I believe that we each hold a piece of something true. Now we've come to this place, and I'm glad that you're here. Come in just as you are. Come with open ears, 'cause we don't need a lot. I think we can make do with some kindness and self-respect, with just me and you. Thank you. Thanks. Oh, sorry. I moved that out of the way, and he's just gonna move it back. Gary Furlow, everybody. I also want to point out, while I'm retuning here, that Gary is also in charge of the live streams here at Artichoke. If anybody's tuned into a live stream, he has a whole magic thing that happens back there. So if anybody's tuning into the live stream, I want to say hello and make sure you give Gary lots of clapping emojis in the chat. Thank you, Gary. Okay. So, the funny thing about that song, I shared that at a songwriting workshop not too long ago, and it got wonderful, very nice, kind comments and suggestions. And then at the very end, one woman said, "Is it just me, or is that a song about online dating?" Sure. I loved that. And I thought, if I could just put that song up instead of filling out whatever profile they make you fill out, I might actually try it. Woo! All right. Set 2. Oh, I forgot to do something. I'm going to pause. Can I have some volunteers from the audience? Really? I knew there was something I forgot to do at the break. Bernardo, can I have my bag there, please?
Carrying something.
Here we go, folks. I forgot this is very important. This is your part of the show.
Are we giving out papers?
Your part of the
The
show.
papers.
Papers, we will get the papers.
Oh, thank you, Anna. Not only are you so good at playing Uno.
We don't all have to play Uno. You don't all, I mean, I can pass around.
Okay, so I can't believe I forgot to do this at the break. I was just so excited to see all of you and hug you again. So these are very new songs, all written or significantly revised within the last year or so. So I am giving you all set lists to take notes. And I hesitate to say offer feedback, but what I'm going to say is that as you listen, I really do, what I want to do with this show is kind of like take not just the fourth wall down between the performer and the audience, but like open up the door to the studio where the songwriter is at work, and just share some brand new things, some of which I only just finished this afternoon, and to give you a chance to offer whatever these songs make you think of. So if there's something that's confusing, like something you want to hear again, something I'm noticing some folks over here are in need of some set lists. This is exactly the way this was supposed to happen. Truly. If something's confusing to you, if there was something that you really loved, what's that? Just the right amount too? Oh, good. I hope everybody has one who wanted one, or feel free to share. Oh, okay. And I hope they've made them all made their way all the way to the back. Yeah. So feel free to kind of doodle or jot down notes, things that really stuck out to you. If there's one that you would really like to hear on a recording, as in, I would pay money to hear that on a recording. This is such the right crowd to try this with. But seriously, I do really, they're all on the table, and I'm just very excited to share a little bit of this with you and a little bit of the creative process along the way. Okay. We made it work. So that first one was called Me and You. It's about online dating. And this is one for my fellow late bloomers called Wait for Me. The snow cap lets a drop of water go. It's carried over cascades and through eddies where it slows till it's rolling down the river into the throes of waves and wind, living high and living low. It's a long journey from the mountain to the sea. Wait for me. Single seed falls onto the ground. If it's lucky, it is lost before it's found. So it can gather up its strength and listen for the sound of the sky, reaching high from roots to boughs. It's a long journey from the seed to the tree. Wait for me. yet everything gets done. So promise me you will not worry. I don't love you. I am growing old, but I feel young. I'm not who I once was, but I still feel like I'm someone, still growing, still flowing, still in it for the long run. Keep on going till I'm done. Keep on going till I'm done. It's a long journey from the mountain to the sea, from the sea to the tree, and I'm coming, love, for thee. I'm coming, wait for me. I know, I'm doing all sorts of loop-de-loops. Oh, thank you. Meow. Like a cat. Great. Okay. Right on cue. I'm telling you, Gary makes magic happen. All right, so I have two songs now that actually are older songs, but I kind of revisited them more recently. And it's so interesting. I wrote them at least 5 years ago, and I didn't really know what they were about at the time. I was just sort of doing that thing. Sometimes in the creative process, you're just sort of following the sound, following the image, following whatever sounds or feels right, but you don't really know what you're doing or what you're writing about, certainly as a songwriter. And what was so interesting was that coming back to them, these songs were so clearly about my son, Oscar. But I had started writing them long before he was ever part of the picture. So it was almost like the song sort of found me and they were waiting for me on this other end. So this first one's called The Secret Passageway. I used to live in a house with many rooms, each served a different purpose and sang a different tune to different people. They'd walk in and they'd walk out, they'd hang out in the hallway until I kicked them out. And then there's you. You came one day and stayed long enough to find the secret passageway. Hold on. That's what I was going for. And then there's you. You came one day and stayed long enough to find the secret passageway to the places you can't see from the street, to the rooms where all my hallways lead. I used to live in a cabin with just one room, with a front door to the sun and a back door to the moon, and to a garden full of undiscovered rose, all the shapes and colors of the things we don't yet know. And then there's you. You came one day and stayed long enough to find the secret passageway to the paths that lead us outside, just to turn around and touch us on the inside. A single flower from a single seed. The flower bears the fruit from which we feed. Find your core, find your creed. What's alive inside us is all we really need. Now I live in a house with no more rooms. All the walls have been torn down. Nothing left here but the view of a canyon. Layers of aged stone, cutting deep and wide, cutting down to the bone. And then there's you. You're there each day and stay long enough to find the secret passageway to the place where we become the walls. And the garden grows up wild and tall, and the canyon bears witness to us. And we find ourselves at home after all. We tune because we care. My favorite joke is that tuning is like airplane maintenance. It's worth the wait. Okay. Great. The only thing I'll add about this next one is called Roll Down the River. I originally wrote this song. I went back to the old notes to remember, like, how did I even start writing this song? It's been with me for a long time. And it was originally going to be about one of my ancestors leaving Europe and going down the river up to Amsterdam and here. So it was like left over from way, way back. And when I think about the journey this song has taken, that's great. It's called Roll Down the River. River flow down below my window. Do you know where you go and how to follow? Walk out the door what's your plan? We're in your hands. We're in this together. Lean left, lean right. Read the river, read the sky. As we roll down the river, we'll roll down the river. We'll roll for a while in our little boat together. We'll roll that river to the sea. It's okay to feel unsure, and it's okay to be brave. Darling, you're the one I'm rowing for. You're the tomorrow that will see me through today. As we roll down the river, roll down the river, we'll roll for a while in our little boat together. We'll roll that river to the sea. River flow down below. Here we go. That whole idea of, following for what sounds right. For me, if something makes me cry, follow that. Do that. That's the thing you keep. All right. Shall I go back to the piano? So this is where it gets really interesting. I have a little bit of a story to tell you as I play this next song for you. Again, in the spirit of opening up the door to the studio and letting you in a little bit on the creative process. Let's see, make sure I get situated here. A long time ago, I wrote a song that started off like this. I once had a lover just to discover I loved him too much to keep. So I kept walking the shoreline. He kept on biding time in the ocean so deep. And I look to you. You go hand in hand along the strand, and I don't remember the rest of the song, and it doesn't really matter because it's not relevant. But that kind of gives you an idea of the world that I was in that song. And what was interesting was, not relevant anymore, many relationships ago, and yet that first line, I once had a lover just to discover I loved him too much to keep. And I realized, I could say that about all the relationships since. We're going to save that for the therapist. But for tonight, I really liked that first line. And I thought, okay, lyrically, I'm going to hold on to that. Okay, so it's back there somewhere in the recesses of my mind. I'm going to grab my water. So then, fast forward to the latest relationship, which was sort of the end of my marriage. And we were about ready to move out of the house that we had shared together to separate spaces. And in the last days that we lived in that house, I wrote a song that started like this. Why do I feel like I'm always leaving? Why can't I stay in one place? Just when I think I'm all done and settled, I convince myself back to the race. I should know better. I should know by now. The call of the road is deceiving. So why do I feel like I'm always leaving? So, gives you a little bit of that. And I wanted to come back to that because I didn't really like the verses, but I'll tell you what I loved. I love the diminished chord. I know. As a songwriter, you're like, oh, wait, I didn't use the 1, 4, 5. I found a spot for the diminished, so I was like, I'm definitely keeping that. So again, all these things we sort of hold on to. And then we leave the other things for the therapist. But anyway, so all of a sudden I was working on them separately, and at some point it dawned on me that they're both in waltz time, and then they're both only a key away. And that I liked the verse of one, but the chorus of the other. So, I tried it. I once had a lover just to discover I loved him too much to keep in time. There came another, then my child's father. Even then came the time I would leave. I should know better. I should know by now. Nothing worth the work is ever easy. So why do I feel like I'm always leaving? Right? I was so excited until I realized I had to write a second verse. Any songwriter will tell you that the second verse is the hardest. So, here's a stab at it. I looked in the mirror just to see clearer things I've tried hard not to see, but I leaned in nearer. I tried to remember the person I thought I used to be. I should know better. I should know by now. You gotta love yourself first to love another. So why am I still here looking in the mirror? And then it was just a matter of taking the structure of the later song, the more recent song, and working in what I loved about each of them together. So here's the rest. Oh, this is the bridge that uses a natural metaphor that I ended up using in another song, so it's kind of a placeholder for now, but it's going to get us through the bridge, through to the end. Just stick with me here, okay? Does the seed on the tree feel the same as me? Or does it know it must fall for it to grow after all? That every big thing starts small. Still, it feels so long. I keep on getting it wrong, and I don't know what to do with the shame. someone singing a song, someone I thought already gone. But here she is calling my name. She says you will do better, 'cause you've learned by now you are worth every day of your life. And the things that feel hardest are the things you're doing right. 'Cause this is your time, honey, this is your time. There you go. Thank you. So funny how those little bits of the creative process find their way through. Okay, and then there's this one. If anybody's following along on the set list, you're probably like, what is this song? And when did Avery start swearing? My mother's watching, so I'm going to say this is the first time ever. So this is one, and there is a piece of me that really wants to like put up a sheet between me and all of you. But I'm going to give you a couple stepping stones into what I'm going to share with you tonight. The first is that I mentioned I was working with Vicki, and last fall when I was conceptualizing the show and looking at the songs that I had, trying to decide what I wanted to use, she said, you know, Avery, I also just, as you're continuing to write, I want to give you permission to write a really not pretty song. And I thought, okay, all right, no, that is, just dig in, just hack away at whatever is down under there, and don't be afraid of how it sounds. And I thought, okay, well, I could tell you what that song's going to be. It's going to be I'm So Tired of Men. Which I feel really terrible saying because some of my favorite men are in this room. So I was very hesitant to share it. But that is just the state that I was in that moment. So there I was in my work week, and I was like, get it all out. And then I get to Friday evening, and Oscar goes off to his dad's for the weekend. And I think, this is great. It's my night to go out and enjoy for myself. So why am I eating popcorn for dinner? Because I'm exhausted, And I think to myself, it'd be really nice to have a boyfriend. And I thought, so I started to kind of follow what sounded good. I thought, not just I want a boyfriend, I want a goddamn boyfriend. I was like, ooh, that's got a nice rhythm to it. I'm gonna put that in a song. And so I started writing that, and then I thought, oh my goodness, I've got this song, and they basically cancel each other out, right? These two songs that I'm writing at the same time. And then the last piece to the puzzle is just recently, for a completely unrelated writing exercise, I went back and I watched the film The Beauty and the Beast. Yeah, it was one that I grew up with and just had an impact on me. And so I went back and watched it, and I'm watching this main protagonist who on the one hand is standing up for herself, and she's an independent woman as she puts off Gaston, this sort of beastly, kind of man who just wants to marry her and have her basically be his little wife, right? And she's like, no, this is not what I'm going to do. I'm this independent woman. And then on the other hand, she's falling in love with an actual beast who somehow she's supposed to see the wonderful person that he is inside, but he's not, because that's how he ended up a beast in the first place, because he was not a good person. And I thought, these are very conflicting messages. And that was when I decided that these two songs were actually the same song. So this is the one that I literally finished in about a half an hour today. I thought, I don't really know what chords I want to put under this. So here goes. I hope I remember how it goes. Yeah. We'll have some interesting melody work tonight, let's just say. I'm so tired of men. I hate how much I think about them. I can't believe they get away with what they can. I'm so tired of men. Now I've had my share of enjoyments. They just seem to fizzle into disappointments. And though my wisdom gained poignant. You think I'd learned, and yet I want a goddamn boyfriend. Someone who thinks I'm really neat, a really nice boyfriend. Someone to sweep me off my feet, not with jewelry, not with flowers, just the pleasantry of an hour's conversation. Over dinner I don't have to make. Now don't get me wrong, I love to cook. Just not when I'm tired, which is all the time. I want a goddamn boyfriend. Not a partner, not a husband, just a boyfriend. And if you know something clever that rhymes with husband, write it down, 'cause that's all I have for you tonight. Oh, man. I'm so glad that's over. That is also, I meant to say at the beginning, not an open invitation to ask me out, because I will say no. Go back and listen to the previous song. Back to more serious stuff. Oh. So here's a little song about the holidays. What a segue. Okay, thank you. This really is a song about the holidays. It's that time of year, time for telling stories, time for lighting candles, time for friends and family, time to remember what we learned long ago about the light, about the love, stories we've made our own. Some celebrate a baby, some look in darkness for the light, some remember magic oil, some look for reindeer in the sky. May we remember whatever stories we believe. We are the light, we are the love, we are the miracle we see. Ooh, ooh, Now I know times get hard, and I know that there is suffering. I know we need justice, and I know we can do something. But I believe in stories, 'cause they're not just tales we tell. We need the light, we need the love they show us in our the light. We are the ones who shine in darkness. We are the stars in the sky. We are the love. We are the light. It's that time of year, time for telling stories. Thank you. Sorry, that set took an abrupt turn. Maybe I should have given more of an intro to that. All right. I've got one more here, and then I'm going to call up my band. Oh, yeah. You're on deck, sirs. All right. This next one, I'll just say I read a book called Like a Mother by Angela Garbus. And don't be deceived. It's not a book just for mothers. It's a book for everybody. It's a book actually about the science and culture of pregnancy. And I really, truly believe that this should be required reading for everybody, because everybody was birthed by a mother. And I think it just is a wonderful testament to what the human body is capable of. And so much of, it's just the process of becoming a mother is a process that's not talked about and isn't, part of the regular narrative. And there's a lot that happens. I'm just gonna say that. So I really, really appreciated the research and the thought that Angela gave to her writing in this. And you're gonna laugh when you actually hear the song, because it sounds like it's nothing about that. What I really loved about the book was this notion of transformation. I think that's something that we can all learn from people who give birth to children, is that it is really this physical transformation, it is a spiritual transformation, a psychological transformation, and we all go through transformations in our lives, in all kinds. And so I wanted to sort of open it up to really be an honoring of what has transformed in us, whatever your story of transformation may be. And often when I am, my ears are so picky tonight. Oh my goodness. Often when I write, as you've gathered, I often look to the natural world for inspiration or for a way of sharing, for communicating what it is that I am feeling. And luckily I didn't have to go very far past the boundaries of our fair city to find the right inspiration. So this song is called Helena. Helena was well enough, a being of beauty and grace, perfectly poised, never a noise, and ever a smile on her face. Down below, something started to grow. One by one, they would all know. Helena, when it came to that hour, Helena, did you know your own power? Did you know you're a volcano? I told you. Helena knew well enough it all was about to change. But what price would she pay for the mess she would make, for this fire inside her that raged? The ground started shaking, her bones started breaking, Something inside her was waking Helena when it came to that hour. Helena, did you know your own power? Did you know you're a volcano? We are old, we are young, we are fierce, we are calm. We turn rocks into dust and grow life from the crust. We can open the gaps, we can change all the maps. Let go who you were to be who you are. Helena. So when it's your ground that's shaking, your bones feel like breaking, when something inside you is waking, oh Helena, will you know at that hour? Helena, will you know your own power? Will you know? Do you know you're a volcano? Yeah. Thank you so much. So I want to invite my friends and colleagues, Bernardo Gomez and Richie Bellinger, to the stage. We're going to close it out with a little closing set here. Did you enjoy this process? Yeah? Getting behind the curtain a little bit? I'll be looking forward to your notes. You can drop them by the merch table on your way out. I'm very excited. I know. All of my ukulele friends and students are like, finally, she's going to play her ukulele. Small but mighty, as we know. All right. As these folks are getting ready, I want to say just another round of thank yous for the whole crew here at Artichoke Music for being here. I just want to remind us all, you know, these organizations, they take real hours and real people, and I want to just give an applause to everybody here at Artichoke tonight. Thanks again to Gary and Paul and Steve and Laura and Braden. Thank you all so much for being here this evening, but I just want to pass that thanks on to all the folks who make Artichoke keep going, including yourselves. Give yourselves a round of applause. Thank you. Two of my friends are here, Anne and Kelly. We're going to be doing a show back here in April, so keep your eyes out for that. That's going to be fun. And in March, I'll also be back for International Women's Day. I'll be hosting a Women's Songwriters Night with my friend Kristen Gordon-George. So keep in touch. If you're not already on my email list, that's at the back. You feel free to sign that. And yeah, stick around and say hello. Like I said, I'm anxious to see all your notes. Oh, I know Lois has a whole novel written over here. Oh, I cannot wait. Why do I feel this isn't quite in tune yet? All right, just a couple to send you off here. Oh, you're welcome to add notes about the band if you would like. No, of course not. You ready? Cool. All right. This is called The Sun Keeps Shining. On the night John Prine died, the pink moon rose high, and I tried to take it as a sign. Come what will, come what may, we will all be okay, even those, bless their souls, who have died. But the sun keeps shining even when it's sad. Now he sings his tune to the moon, so we know that he ain't dead. He's just shining from a place that we haven't got to yet. Yeah, the sun keeps shining even when it's sad. There's a grief hangs in the air. We can feel it everywhere, even as the cherry trees begin to bloom. Like a whisper, petals fall. We try to catch them all, try to hold them even as we let them go. But the sun keeps shining even when it's sad. Now they sing their tune to the moon, so we know that they ain't dead. They're just shining from a place that we haven't got to yet. Yeah, the sun keeps shining even when it's sad. Take it, Richie. We all make our mistakes. We don't know the toll they'll take, but they say the only way out is through. And I know you never meant to break me as I bend, and I never did intend to hurt you. When the darkest hour comes, the body goes numb, but the heart still feels everything at once. If we didn't, now we know the days will come, the days will go, ashes to ashes and dust to dust. And the sun keeps shining even when it's sad. Now we sing our tune to the moon, so we know that we ain't dead. Keep on singing, keep on living to that place we're trying to get. Yeah, the sun keeps shining even when it's sad. Oh, the sun keeps shining even when it's sad. Here. This next one I want to offer to us all a little bit as a prayer to send us out. I'll just say very briefly that I did not choose music at first. I kind of found my way through the back door, certainly to this instrument. That was not intentional, but it has been one of the greatest gifts of my life. Music was something that I always did, but never really intentionally chose. And one of the things that was really a silver lining of these past several years was it gave me a chance to really decide, am I going to do this? Am I going to go forward with this music or not? And I'm just so grateful for that time and that opportunity to really think about why, not just what it is that I do, but why I do it. And I'll just say that there's just no place I would rather be than snuggled in here tonight between all of you and this great big magical mystery we call music. and story. It's just a wonderful place, and I thank you all for being here tonight. Here's a benediction, if you will. It's called Keep Singing. May this music we've shared go now with you in your hearts, on your lips, in everything that you do. May it keep a steady tempo, a gentle heartbeat. May it always keep you grounded in who you know yourself to be. May you find in it a melody only you know how to sing. May you sing it every day and know the joy that it brings. And may the harmonies we make be a constant reminder of the things we can only do when we do them together. Sing with me, la la la, la 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 la. I don't hear you. La 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 la. One more time. La 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 la. May this music and its elements be like the walls of a house, keep you safe, keep you warm, help you figure things out. May it also give you what you need to know for yourself the walls that need to fall to tell the story you're here to tell. Tell your story, sing your song. We are here and we are listening. You're holding on to something true, so keep your courage and keep singing. La 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 la. So go in peace and keep singing. Oh, thank you, thank you, thank you. I don't need this one. Thank you. Oh, yeah. Bernardo says you're hired. You're coming to all the gigs. Closing hymn. Are we ready, boys? Here we go. I can sing the first verse by myself. We're good. All right, nice. 1, 2, 3. Up above my head, I hear music in the air. Up above my head, I hear music in the air. Up above my head, I hear music in the air. And I really do believe it can take me somewhere. Repeat after me. Up above my head, I hear music in the air. Up above my head, I hear music in the air. Up above my head, somewhere between you and me. I hear music in the air between you and me. I hear music in the air.